Goeiedag naar al die patriots in Suid-Afrika. Luister, ek het 'n klein boodskap vir julle mense. Die nuwe Gayton Mckenzie van die Government of National Confusion. Van waar af kom die man? Ek ken nie die man nie. Al ek wat wil graag sê is dat gee ons die ou Gayton Mckenzie wat ons ken. Wie is die nuwe man wat hier so op en af flip-flop? Ek ken nie die man nie. Gayton Mckenzie is not the same. And why is there Mama Gayton Mckenzie? Where is that guy? Well, what is going on with Gayton Mckenzie? How can a person in just a few months switch like nobody's business? Gayton Mckenzie is one confused politician. Nee man, mense man. Laat die waarheid kom man. Die Gayton Mckenzie is, ek ken nie wie's die man nie. Ek vra asseblief die ou Gayton Mckenzie, ek soek nie die swim swap Gayton Mckenzie wat ons nou het. Ek vra die ou Gayton Mckenzie asseblief.
Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Said So. I'm your host, Kagiso Hlongwane Zinchiva Sono, and we're back at it again with another one. Guys, this Gayton Mckenzie that we have right now, where does this guy come from? Gayton Mckenzie is not a poor guy. He did not go in politics as a poor guy. So I did not expect the blue lights and the little salary that he's getting, that he's donating to himself, to change him this much. The Babahambe guy who was going crazy before the election, that guy no longer exists. And I don't know how the patriots are feeling about this. And if you are from the PA, I'm going to play four clips for you guys. And I want you guys to tell me your honest assessment. What is going on with Gayton Mckenzie? Is Gayton Mckenzie still in government for promoting the issues of colored people? Or is he there with that sickness that black people has? Because Gayton Mckenzie is a black man. When we are in power, we want to cater for everyone. But when the other races are in power, they cater only for their races. It's only blacks and coloreds, which is the same thing. When they are in power, then all of a sudden they want a rainbow nation, a multi-nation. When the Italians were in power, they catered for Italians. When the Germans were in power, they catered for the Germans. In South Africa, when the Dutch were in power, they catered for the Dutch. But when we took power in 1994, then we all of a sudden forgot about the history. Now we wanted to cater for everyone. So I'm very confused as to what type of version is this of Gayton Mckenzie. And okay, the reason I'm saying this is because of this video. Listen to this.
We are being accused of being xenophobic. No, we are not. We need your help. Every person is welcome. We don't have the right to say we don't want Nigerians here. We do not have the right to say we don't want people from Tanzania here. We have no such a right to say people from Lesotho should not be here. But we must emphasize the fact that we have a border and we have laws in this country that needs to be followed. The problem is, I am not this minister that's intimidated by the media. I'm not used to nice media. Our leaders died. The freedom that you are having today and that I am having is because of the blood that was spilled by these people that we are honoring. The heroes, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Russia, Angola, Nigeria, all these countries, Ambassador, when our people had nowhere to go, you opened your doors for them. When there was nowhere, you opened your doors for them. All those countries with our fallen heroes, you opened the doors for our people in South Africa. But you did that at great risk to your own country. Some of your countrymen died in the process of opening the doors for our soldiers. Some of them paid the price because they opened the doors for South Africans. And that's something that we should never forget. But that's also something that we should speak about. And we will be very dishonest. We will be very dishonest. And I have no intention of being dishonest here today if I don't acknowledge the role that your countries has played in opening.
Which Gayton Mckenzie is this now, guys? I really don't know this guy. Really, I don't know. If we talk about flip-flopping, Gayton Mckenzie would definitely take the cup for it. What type of flip-flopping is this? Gayton Mckenzie is now saying we don't have a right to say we don't want these people, our African brothers in South Africa. No, Gayton. Because I kept the files of everything you said, because I did predict that you are going to flip-flop. Because you've always been a flip-flopper, Gayton. From the very first beginning, you've always been a flip-flopper. He says now, when the South Africans, freedom fighters had nowhere to go, they opened their doors. Of course they did. And remember, they opened their doors without taking any documents from us. You guys must always remember that South Africa got its independence after every country in Africa. We are one of the last countries, especially in the SADC area. We are the last country to get what we call democracy. Other people call it independence, but as you know, we are not independent for anything. So when our people were running to Mozambique, when our people were running to Zimbabwe, Zambia, Nigeria, and everywhere, they were not passing at a border and clocking in and clocking out. You know? They were not clocking in. They were going in there because they knew that is my brother's country where I will be safe. And that's exactly what we mean. He says we must acknowledge the role that African countries have played. We've been telling the Patriotic Alliance this and telling all Africans this, but we get bashed for trying to force Pan-Africanism into the throats of South Africans. While we are telling you Pan-Africanism is the way of life for Africans. When you talk about African unity, that's Pan-Africanism. When you talk about Africans must support African businesses, that's Pan-Africanism. When you talk about Africans must protect African children, that is Pan-Africanism. Nobody else will do it for us. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? So we really in a space where our politicians, they are just playing with our feelings. And I feel sorry for the Patriotic Alliance people because they were saying, Mama Hambe, but now Gayton is saying something else. What are they going to say now? Listen, they are here on my channel. Just check them on the comment section. Just check them on the comment section. Their leader has flip-flopped. Now they don't know where they stand. Are they still on Mama Hambe thing? Oh, and they will say, no, King, Gayton never said our foreign brothers must go, only the illegal ones. Really? You think I did not keep the file? Excuse me. Watch this.
PA is not only saying, President, that illegal foreigners must go. We say no foreigner must have a job here. Whether it's legal or whether it's illegal, while a South African can occupy that same job. Whether it's legal or whether it's illegal, whether it's legal or whether it's illegal,
Now I kept all the files, and it was difficult to get this footages, but I you have to go back and cut just the clip of what Gayton said. Gayton was speaking to Kenny Kunene in this clip, saying, Deputy President, we are not saying only illegal immigrants must go. We are saying no foreigner must have a job in South Africa, whether they are illegal or legal here in South Africa. All of them, they must go. That's what Gayton Mckenzie was known for. That's why apparently most people voted for him, because he was chasing away our African brothers and sisters. No, you will never hear him mention Chinese. You'll never hear him mention Europeans. You'll never hear him mention any other race but black or African. Let me rather say African. You know, and I say I kept the fuzz because I kept the fuzz because I knew Gayton Mckenzie will always flip-flop. Even when he had the interview, when he was launching one of his books, he called South Africans lazy. And the Patriotic Alliance don't want us to say this. By that time, because he was not so into politics, he was saying, why is it that other people from other countries can come here and make it, but we South Africans can't make it? You guys still remember that clip?
Everybody says speak truth to power. Everybody wants to tell the government what to do. But who tells us sometimes what to do? You look at our communities. You ask yourself, how did the Africans, the guys from Zimbabwe, the guys from the DRC, how do they make it here? Because they are an integral part of this economy. So much so that if all of them have to decide to leave on a particular hour and go back to the country, this country would not function. But the problem with us is that as black people, I'm talking about here, we are lazy. And people are scared to say that. I'm not scared to say black people are lazy. You know what? We do not want to do the things, we want to do the things that we studied for. We want to do the things that we have experience in. But sometimes you have to park the big car and start with a small skateboard in order for that to take you to the car. Look at the Pakistanis. They come here all the way from Pakistan. And they open shops in our backyard. You know, it's so confusing for me. How do these guys come here and open shops? And one of my friends, I asked him, why should you make this guy open a shop in your backyard? He says to me, gee, I don't have funding. I said, you've got an iPhone. That phone is $6,000. How much stock do you think is in that shop? But you see, we've been spoiled by tenders. And somebody needs to tell the young people of today, it is not, if you wait for funding, you might wait forever. Get yourself out of the starting blocks, no matter how humble, no matter how small, but start somewhere. And that's what this book is about.
Well, let's talk about you. I mean, you spent 10 years in prison. I mean, what were you in prison for?
For robbery.
For robbery. Okay, yes. You were there.
So that is the current Gayton Mckenzie that you guys have. The Gayton Mckenzie that flip-flops, that called you lazy, then that called you proactive, then that took you to the border, to cross the border that says you must not cross. The Patriotic Alliance people that were at the border of South Africa and Zimbabwe crossed the border to go to the other side of Zimbabwe and stab the boats that those people were using to cross. So they went to Zimbabwe without a passport because they justified their action as to blocking the people. So when they break the crime, it's okay. When other people break the crime, it's a crime. We know that type of mentality. So for me, Gayton Mckenzie was even going as far as saying, getting into bedroom politics with people, saying, the people that have slept with the Somalians and whatever, he's going to chase their father and their children away back to Somalia and Ethiopia. That's what Gayton said.
South African women who have children with immigrants could face problems, as the party says the fathers must go home.
And you that has a baby with a Somalian, and you are not happy that I'm taking your boyfriend out. Sasa, listen to me very nicely. Every grandmother, every grandfather deserves to see their grandchild before they die. So take that child of yours so that he go see his grandmother, then Ethiopia, then Somalia, before his grandmother die. Go with your man.
On issues relating to municipalities, debts owed by residents for rates, water.
Now, in conclusion, I want to say this about Gayton Mckenzie. My brother, you are voted into parliament for colored people. You are voted into parliament by colored people, I mean. And those colored people expect to see their lives change. I want to see colored people's lives change. Excuse me. When there's a colored leader at the throne, I want to see colored people's lives change. Do you understand what I'm saying? You said you're going to make spinning professional or rubbish. Nobody wants to have spinning professional. It's not going to change the quality of life. of colored people. Yes, it might be true that when they're spinning, the crime rate goes down for those few hours, but it doesn't stay down. So the fabric of the quality of life of colored people does not change because of that. And I'm not expecting you to change the world through the Ministry of Sports. It's a difficult ask, yes indeed. But don't change your tone. Don't change your tune. Don't now become such an ANC-esque kisser that you are now running away from the things that you promised the colored people. And I'm not talking about Mabahambe, because that promise you are never going to be able to deliver it. Ever, ever. That promise of you saying you are going to switch off oxygen message, and you are never going to deliver that promise. It's an impossible. It's only people who know with a half a brain who will entertain and clap hands for you when you say nonsense like that. And let's read Gayton. There's a child, a 6-year-old child that was ran over by a farmer for apparently stealing an orange. Gayton, on your social medias, I checked, you are not saying anything. You're not saying anything. And it's a colored child, by the way. So for me, it's like, what is it that these politicians want from their people? What is it that they want from their people? Why are you not vocal about the more than 1,000 teachers that are going to lose their jobs, colored and black teachers that are going to lose their jobs in the Western Cape? You said nothing, Gayton, because you are loyal to the government of national unity and not to the colored nation. So I'm warning you because you think your votes will last forever, because you guys are never going to have a leadership election conference. So I'm telling you, Gayton, the votes of the colored people are going to go to other parties because you have forgotten them. And I want to remind the people that Gayton Mckenzie has forgotten you. Have the bravery to tell him, to say, Gayton, you have forgotten us. We feel like now you are playing the government of national unity too much. Because the other parties, like the DA, they are doing it for their people. When they are there, they are making sure. You saw when Steenhuisen got in there, he was employing his people. What is Gayton doing? That is just a video that I just wanted to take out of my chest, because I just feel like Gayton has changed too much, and I care too much about my colored people to remain silent. And I've told you guys, go to Fidel Adams, who is the president of the Colored Congress, National Colored Congress, the NCC, and make sure that you vote for that guy. He's a better representative for colored people than Gayton Mckenzie will ever be in his life. And Fidel understands, politics more than Gayton. If you disagree, go in the comment section and tell me you disagree or why you disagree, and let's have a discussion in this here. But for me, this Gayton Mckenzie, I'm not saying the Mabahambe guy must come back, but I'm saying the guy that was there saying he wants to change the lives of colored people, that guy must come back, not this new Gayton Mckenzie. If you enjoyed that video, please make sure to click the like and subscribe button. Until we meet again, don't forget to pray. After you pray, stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan-Africanism. I salute you.